Formula One is introducing a new qualifying format for the Hungarian Grand Prix, but it has received mixed reactions from both drivers and team bosses. While the sport aims to be more sustainable, some drivers feel their freedom is being restricted. However, the new format has the potential to add excitement to the race and sprint events, possibly leading to surprises and smaller teams gaining an advantage. In this video, we'll explain the changes for the Hungarian Grand Prix and discuss why drivers are expressing their concerns about the direction of the sport. FIA and F1 are currently working on satisfying both the new and existing markets, particularly in the USA, Europe, Asia, and South America. The growing influence of American fans has pushed Liberty Media, the USA-based company that owns the sport, to make it more interesting and appealing to a broader audience. A new qualifying format was planned for Imola but was postponed due to floods. Now it will be introduced in Budapest. However, this change is not sitting well with F1 drivers. They will face limitations on the number of tires and compounds they can use during qualifying sessions. The FIA's explanation for this format is centered around sustainability and the gradual effort to save the planet. Despite drivers' concerns, the FIA is not open to discussing the matter further. In their pursuit of making the sport a greater show, FIA and F1 are taking steps towards innovation, even if it means facing some resistance from the drivers. The focus on sustainability and attracting a wider audience is driving these changes. The decision to change the qualifying format has raised concerns about its impact on competitiveness. Some wonder if sacrificing competitiveness for the sake of saving tires is worth it. Superstars like Verstappen have even threatened to quit the sport due to its ever-changing nature, which prioritizes the show over the role models who participate in it. The timing of these changes is also significant. They come right after the controversial decision to increase the racing calendar to 24 races and allow Andretti and High-Tech to enter F1 from 2026 onwards. While fans are excited about more teams competing for wins, there are doubts about Andretti and High-Tech's ability to score points. Some fear that these new teams might become backmarkers, which is not what the sport needs at the moment. Adding to the concerns about competitiveness and the entry of new teams, there's a new qualifying format causing frustration among F1 drivers. In Hungary and Monza, the qualifying session will be different. In Q1, teams must use the hard compound tire, in Q2 the medium, and in Q3 the soft. Furthermore, the number of tires available for the whole weekend is reduced to 11, down from the previous 13. This decision has angered drivers due to the potential unfairness it might bring to the grid. The question is, why is F1 implementing this new format and what is their goal? This move aims to promote sustainability by limiting tire usage, but some drivers fear it could impact competitiveness. Also, there are concerns about how new teams like Andretti and High-Tech might affect the distribution of resources and competitiveness on the grid. The situation is causing a lot of debate and uncertainty among the drivers and fans. The new qualifying format aims to save more than 40 sets of tires across the entire grid, which is equivalent to 160 individual tires per driver, totaling 3,600 tires saved throughout the season. F1's goal is clear: to promote sustainability. However, this decision raises concerns about the impact on the sport's popularity and competitiveness. The 2022 and 2023 seasons show that cars perform differently on various tire compounds, with the hard compound sometimes outperforming the soft compound. The increase in tire size from 13 to 18 inches and the removal of preheating blankets from 2024 onwards add to the challenge, making it harder for drivers to warm up their tires quickly. In the new format, drivers would have to start Q1 with hard tires in every race of the upcoming season, leading to potential issues like numerous yellow and red flags as worn by Verstappen and other drivers. This situation could affect the excitement and flow of the races, raising questions about the impact on the sport's enjoyment and competitiveness. Pirelli boss Mario Isola shared that bringing C3, C4 and C5 tires to Hungary will add excitement for the teams. The different tire options will force them into a strategic battle, something that has been lacking in the 2023 season, mainly due to Verstappen's dominant performances. Isola believes this move will spice up the competition and bring back the strategic element that has been missing. He went on to say this: "A new tyre allocation for qualifying will be tried out for the first time, with the obligation to use just the hard in Q1, medium in Q2 and soft in Q3 if conditions stay dry. These changes, at least on paper, should lead to a wider range of options, particularly in terms of strategy. Usually this race, Hungary, is all about strategy and tyre degradation. This year we've opted for a trio of softer compounds, C3, C4 and C5. Compared to 2022 as such, the air and asphalt temperatures, which are usually very high, are the main features. This puts the drivers, cars and tyres to the test." James Vowles, Williams' boss, expressed optimism about trying new formats and acknowledged that the concept is promising. However, there are concerns about how the slower teams will adapt to the harder tyres and if it will affect their competitiveness on the field. Vowles believes that the new format will result in more laps being completed, making it a positive move for the sport. He remains open-minded about its potential impact and sees it as an opportunity to explore new directions. Mike Crack, Aston Martin's counterpart, supported Vowles' perspective, emphasizing the importance of trying different approaches to enhance the sport. He praised the initiative for focusing on sustainability by using fewer tyres. This is what he had to say: "I think the key word here is what James said, the open-mindedness," he added. "We need to try different things. I think Stefano, Domenicali, F1 CEO, also highlights this all the time. And in this case, the idea behind it is less tyres, more sustainability, so I think we have to applaud that initiative." It's clear that the upcoming race in Hungary will bring some excitement to the starting grid. The performance differences between the cars on different tyre compounds will play a significant role. We may witness unexpected battles between cars that haven't had the chance to compete before due to Red Bull's dominance. The recent race in Silverstone was a surprise, as Norris managed to defend against Hamilton despite being on a hard compound tyre while Hamilton was on a soft compound. This outcome defied expectations, and it highlights the potential challenges drivers could face if they go out on hard tyres during qualifying sessions. One significant problem that F1 seems to ignore is the chaos caused by yellow flags and restarts during qualifying sessions. Just like what happened in Silverstone, there isn't enough time to heat the tyres properly when you're the first driver on the track. This situation affected Perez's performance and he couldn't advance past Q1, though it was his responsibility. Moreover, if it rains in Hungary, the new qualifying format will be abandoned and we'll go back to the usual individual approach. Some people see this as hypocritical, as the sport seems to be prioritizing the show and the new fans brought in by Drive to Survive. While the format gives smaller teams a chance to perform well and earn points, the unnatural process raises questions about whether the FIA is just trying desperately to improve the spectacle without considering the potential downsides. Verstappen has expressed his concerns about retiring earlier than expected, possibly in 2028 when his contract ends. One of the main reasons behind this feeling is the changes in the sport that he's not fond of. He particularly dislikes the street circuits, which he believes are added just for the fans' sake without considering the drivers' preferences. If we want to see Verstappen continue in the sport, many things would need to align perfectly, as he explained. "I think it's a very interesting project for us, and for me, it's also very important to know what's going on, also for my future with the team. It's all looking very promising. Of course, to go up against all of these manufacturers is going to be very tough, but the signs are good. Now, of course, we have to try and deliver. I think we started at the right time, we are ahead of schedule, but in one way, 2026 is just around the corner. A lot of things still need to be done, but I think we're on a good track." The tyre experiment in Budapest will be a test to see if such changes work in the sport. However, based on the history of similar moves, we might be in for a big surprise. Share your thoughts with us in the comments below.